words have a tendency to change over time. And if we're going to take the word atheist, in literal terms, it's atheist. Against a theist, a theist view of God. So in some ways, deists are atheists also, because we do not look at God in a theistic view or a dogmatic view. So technically, those who would be strong atheists would really be a deist. And to the atheists out there, I want to recommend a book, and I want to recommend a book for you, Agman. I recommended this to a couple other users, Religion Free Deists, and a couple other people, and it's called The God Theory, and by Bernard Hayes. And I recommend atheists reading it, and I think you'll change your view more to a deist view as well. But I want to read a couple of things from this book. One line here says that by limiting the infinitely possible, you create the finitely real. If you are going to limit the possibility of any God, then you are going to only be limited to your own five senses. I laugh sometimes when atheists bring up the spaghetti monster or pink unicorns, because these are still tangible things that could be seen, visible, touched, whatever. And of course these things don't exist because you're using natural means still to prove natural things. When we get into the idea of God, it's science is trying to prove well, should I say, it's supernatural. You can't use natural means to try to prove a supernatural thing. So, in essence, any idea of God is going to be a theory. I wanted to read something else from this book. It was very interesting. Something that I think you might be able to appreciate. And it says this, that God gives us this is from the book God After Darwin, written by a theologian named John Hort. And he makes a compelling case that Darwin's theory, far from ruling out a God, gives us insight into an intelligence that pours its creative essence into the universe and gives it free rein to go and make things happen. Rather than pulling puppet strings, this deity voluntarily relinquishes control to its creatures so that new and autonomous things may arise. This enhances creation by bringing forth the unplanned, the unscripted, the random, the other that flows naturally from this act. Hort argues that in creating the universe, God deliberately relinquishes omnipotence over this realm so as not to interfere with the free will of creation's beings. The universe is thus invited to participate into its own crafting. This ongoing participatory act of creation is in fact the ultimate expression of God's love. I relate that to almost a parent and its child. At a certain stage in a child's life, a parent needs to allow them to make their own decisions, to make their own mistakes, to evolve into an adult and to find their own way in life. That is parental love. He goes on, he says, love by its very nature cannot compel, and so any God whose very essence is love should not be expected to overwhelm the world either with coercively directive power or an annihilating presence. Indeed, an infinite love must in some ways, absent or restrain itself, precisely in order to give the world the space in which to become something distinct from the creative love that constitutes it as other. We should anticipate, therefore, that any universe rooted in an unbounded love would have some features that appear to us as random and undirected. He goes on to also quote Thomas Aquinas, who said, "It would be contrary to the nature of providence and to the perfection of the world if nothing happened by chance." So, Agman, yeah, I'm going to recommend this book to you and the other atheists out there, the God Theory, and I think it would make you a second thing about God. What happens here is, what happens is that there becomes a fundamentalism in atheists, or even in the science community. They take on their own kind of orthodoxy, their own dogma, and rely totally on the physical evidence. And then, just like theists have their own dogma and refuse to see any kind of evidence to the contrary of evolution. And so that is what strong atheists and scientists become guilty of. And deists, the position of deism is, in a way, you have your cake and eat it too. We embrace science. Science offers an explanation of how things work, But when it comes to spirituality and beliefs in God, these are answers of seeking why. Why we're here. Why do things exist? And those questions science cannot answer. I also thought about dreams. You ever have people try to interpret your dreams? But the only person that really can interpret a dream is the one who's dreaming. There's no science per se of dream, there's no dreamology. There's people who try to interpret and such, but in reality the only person that can interpret a dream would be the person who dreamt it. By being introspective, examining the dream, maybe. And maybe some dreams have no meaning at all. They're just dreams. There's just something going on in the subconscious. But science can't disprove that to the person who's having the dream. Everyone could say they're having a dream. I could say I had a certain dream, but you can tell me, no you didn't, but we all had dreams. And everybody's interpretation is going to be different of a dream. And that's the same way as to see God. We're talking about a consciousness that goes beyond the realm of something that we can see, hear, and touch. So, Agman, welcome aboard to Deism. I'm wondering if you're going to call yourself D-Man or Deist Man 77, I don't know. But you made some good points in your video, and thanks for putting it out. I didn't even know what a deist was. You were right about that. I didn't even know what a deist was till about over a year ago. As soon as you say atheist to a Christian, boom, the walls go up. Same thing as if you say you're a Christian to an atheist. These words have all these other stuff attached to it, and I think deism is a great hope, I think, for man and humankind. And there's no dogma or anything, but we, in general, deists believe in respecting one another's opinion and respecting each other and doing good towards our fellow human being and to the good of mankind. So I hope this helps, and I'll speak to you soon, Agman. Take care now.